This is a stimulus update and daily news report. Got some important updates to share with you. Bernie Sanders warning the Democrats that the economy needs to be fixed and that the American people need more financial help. I'll let you know what he says in the latest interview. We'll also go over articles like this: optimism for the $300 monthly child tax credit and how it can be renewed. Also, $500 checks going out to 3.2 million Americans, and a new $3,000 refund could go out if a package is approved. And I'll give you some other important updates as well. Hope you're having a terrific Thursday. If you appreciate the fact-based, fast-paced updates, hit the like button down below and subscribe to the channel if you appreciate the straight-to-the-point daily updates. And if you want to support the channel in a free way, just hit the subscribe button and or the like button. All right, so let's get into it. Many incomes can't keep up with inflation. Now one group is getting a raise: retirees. So today, the 13th, is the big day. The COLA announcement will be made. So we're going to find out later on. I'll try to give you another update video when we find out what that number is, as well as the latest CPI inflation number. So I'll keep you updated on that as well when those numbers come out. And then New Jersey senior freeze property tax relief checks could soon become tax credits. So homeowners eligible for property tax relief under New Jersey's popular senior freeze program could soon start receiving tax credits instead of rebate checks. So yeah, there could be checks going out to seniors if you own any property out there. And then there's new optimism. The $300 monthly child tax credit checks can be renewed, but the relief may look different. So monthly child tax credit payments of up to $300 per child ended last year. While past efforts to renew the policy fell apart, there's new optimism. Something could come together soon, and advocates hope an advanced child tax credit can be included in a year-end deal that would include corporate tax breaks. So what's going on here? Basically, as they have been trying to include new some type of child tax credits, it's just not working out so well. So the child tax credit, the expanded one, well, the existing one right now is $2,000 per child under the age of 17. Those were increased to $3,600 and $3,000 and then split up on a monthly basis. They've been trying to get that to come out again, but it doesn't really seem likely. There's politicians pushing for it, and they're trying to get it to go again, but there's just not enough support. That's basically what this article is talking about there. And then tax rebate. Who can get refunds up to $3,000 if a new EITC package is approved? So EITC's Earned Income Tax Credit, and a bill in the state is increasing the EITC from 6% to 20%. So this is going on in the state of Michigan. A new package is being discussed and would send thousands of their residents refunds of $3,000 while also providing them with a $500 tax credit. So yeah, this is going on in the state of Michigan. According to lawmakers, working class families could receive a refund of almost $3,000 with this new legislation. This move has the approval of Governor Gretchen Whitmer and the Republican leaders in Michigan as well. So if you live in Michigan, might get a $3,000 refund there, which is pretty big. And then new fall tax rebate up to $500 for 3.2 million Americans to be mailed out within days following first in, first out rule. So this is going on in Virginia, and Virginia is having these state tax rebates as well of $500, up to $500. So basically, Americans who file their taxes by September 5th should receive the rebate by October 17th, which is coming up in a week. And then meaning that they wanted to go into bank accounts before November, so by October 31st. That's their plan here. $250 for singles, $500 for couples. And then Bernie Sanders saying Democrats need to focus on the economy and expose Republican anti-worker views to win the midterms. This is what Bernie Sanders is saying. Basically, don't ignore the economy, which is kind of true. So I like to give you different interviews and video clips about what's going on in the economy. But the past few weeks or even a month, there hasn't really been any Democrats talking about it, mainly the Republicans talking about it. And, I want to give you all the financial news. But here's more on what Bernie Sanders has to say.
There are 28 days left until the midterms, and it is clear from the polling that abortion rights and the economy are two of the major issues dominating the race. In fact, until the right-wing Supreme Court took away national abortion rights with their decision in Dobbs, inflation had pretty much been driving all of the political conversation. But now there is a divide between those two issues and how each party is performing on them. If you care most about the economy, you are more likely to vote Republican. And if you care most about abortion, you are more likely to vote Democrat. But one senator is calling out this disconnect and arguing that Democrats will not just win on abortion or just lose on the economy. Senator Bernie Sanders, independent of Vermont, writes in The Guardian that Democrats need to focus more on a pro-worker agenda, saying, quote, while the abortion issue must remain on the front burner, it would be political malpractice for Democrats to ignore the state of the economy and allow Republican lies and distortions to go unanswered. Senator Sanders is a former Democratic presidential candidate, and he joins me now. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Senator, President Biden has a pretty amazing, unprecedented record on job creation. Gas prices are ticking up after a 99-day fall because of OPEC, Saudi Arabia, Ukraine, not because of him. So what are Democrats supposed to do to win people over on the economy? Republicans have the lead on this issue. It might be unfair.
That's right.
Is there anything Democrats can do to change that?
Well, it's not a question of being unfair. It's totally absurd. You have a Republican Party who on every single issue impacting working families is on the wrong side. And yet what polls show is that people think that Republicans are going to do a better job for them than Democrats. So what we have got to do is, A, of course, deal with the abortion issue. What the Supreme Court did is totally outrageous. Of course, we have to go after Republicans who are trying to undermine our democracy that people fought and died to preserve. But what we have got to do is take the attack to Republicans on the economy. Don't be on the defensive. You got 60% of the people in this country who are living paycheck to paycheck. Millions are working for starvation wages. I introduced legislation for a $15 an hour minimum wage. I got 0 Republicans. We're the only major country on earth not to have paid family and medical leave. We need at least 12 weeks. 0 Republicans support that. Only major country not to have universal health care. No Republicans support that. At a time of massive income and wealth inequality, the American people want billionaires to start paying their fair share of taxes. No Republicans support that. So what I am saying is you got to go on the offensive. These people are phonies. They are corporate, working for corporations. We have got to take the fight to them.
And Senator, I think a lot of people watching at home will nod their heads with you and say, go on the offensive against the Republicans, who are the party of the tax dodgers and the billionaires. But you also write in your Guardian piece, and I quote, I am alarmed to hear the advice that many Democratic candidates are getting from establishment consultants that the closing argument of Democrats should focus only on abortion. Your critics, Senator, would say that your argument is a straw man, that no Democrat is actually running only on abortion or assuming that they can win only focusing on abortion. What is your response to them?
Well, of course, and if you read the article, that makes that clear. Well, all that I'm saying is when the American people in poll after poll think that the economy, think that inflation are the two major issues, you cannot ignore those issues. And in fact, not only should we not ignore those issues, we should make it clear to working families throughout this country, many of whom who are prepared to vote Republican, that if they vote Republican, they're voting for a party which is on every single major issue economically is against their interest. That's the fight that we have to make. And let me repeat again, I think that Supreme Court decision on abortion is a total outrage. This is an issue we must continue to stay focused on. The overwhelming majority of the American people understand that it is a woman who has the right to control her body, not state government. So I'm not suggesting we don't focus on that issue, but I'm suggesting get on the offensive on economics as well.
So as you say, abortion, big issue. Economy, big issue. Let me ask you this. What about preserving democracy? Shouldn't that be the biggest issue that all of you run on against a fascistic, anti-democratic Republican Party?
Well, it is obviously. I mean, you have a right-wing party now, tragically. We're not debating health care. We're not debating climate change. I mean, the major issue in many ways is whether or not we preserve American democracy. Unbelievable, but that is where we are right now. So of course that has got to be an issue. But when you're talking about what you do in the last month, you're asking yourself, how do I win the damn election? What are the issues that are getting me votes? How do I get votes away from Republicans into progressive Democrats, into Democrats? And that's kind of what I'm focusing on right now.
Senator, last night was the Ohio Senate debate where Congressman Tim Ryan had this to say about President Joe Biden. Have a listen.
Do you want President Biden to run again in 2024?
No, I've been very clear. I'd like to see a generational change. Mitch McConnell, Donald Trump, the president, everybody.
Tim Ryan, very clear there in his view. Are you going to run again in 2024, considering you're a year older than Joe Biden?
I don't think
you recently said you haven't ruled it out.
I don't think the American people are staying up nights worrying whether I'm going to run or not. What they are worried about is whether they're going to have health care, whether they're going to be able to send their kids to college, whether we're going to deal with climate change. Let's focus on the issues of importance to the American people. Let's get out there. Let's knock on doors. Let's make the phone calls. Let's raise the money. Let us make sure that Democrats continue to control the House and the Senate.
But you're not ruling it out.
Right now, my focus is on doing everything that I can, and I'll be going around the country to make sure that Democratic House members win and Democratic senators win. That should be the focus of everybody right now.
Okay, so one of the big issues is gas prices. Saudi Arabia is being blamed for the rise in prices at the pump. White House officials said today that the president is reevaluating the U.S. relationship with Saudi Arabia. You've been very critical of that relationship. Would you support tougher action against the Saudis, pulling American troops out of the country, ending arms deals? How far would you go?
You got it. Keep going. Look, you have a monarchy, treats women as third-class citizens, torture people. They killed Khashoggi, dismembered his body, and now they are siding with Putin in the war in Ukraine and are forcing Americans, people all over the world, to pay higher gas prices. So, this is a regime, to tell you the truth, I have never been fond of, and I think the president is moving in the right direction.
So what are your thoughts on Bernie Sanders? Getting a little political there. So as the midterms get closer, we're going to start to see more attacking, one party attacking another. Is this the right thing to do? Should there be another way of politics? Personally, I don't really like the attacking. I'd rather, the saying like build a higher building rather than knock someone else's building down. But I guess this is what's worked in politics, in American politics, for years and years. So I guess that's how it is. But let me know your thoughts. And that is all the news that I have for you today to hopefully cheer you up a bit. Here's my daughter Bella's tip of the day.
Hi guys, this is Bella. This is the tip of the day. I want to tell you something what you should always do. So when you want to do something, do it. Like if you want to go out in outer space, do it. If you want to say something, do it. Say whatever you want and do whatever you want. And make it excitement. Bye.
Thank you so much for watching. Appreciate all of your support. All is good in the hood over here. Hopefully everything is good with you. Gonna try to squeeze in a little bit more pickleball today. And then, gonna have a good time. We got we got dance and kickboxing today for the kids. And the wife is working a 24-hour shift, so me and the girls are hanging out today. And anyways, hopefully you have a great rest of your day. If you want to check out any of my other videos, click right up here. And I'll see you in the next video. Excuse me. Take care. Be safe. Thank you for watching.